As I was saying, we move on. The 42nd cycle of the peace talks in Havana, Cuba between the FARC and the Colombian government have been extended one more day due to a disagreement over the interpretation of the two agreed upon, of the text the two agreed upon 2 weeks ago on transnational transitional justice. The government representatives have requested another meeting with legal advisors to work out the differences. Now, they want to focus on several points they claim are undefined, such as extradition, kidnapping, and the selection of judges in a special court. Now, the FARC leadership is not happy with this move. They maintain the agreement on justice is a done deal.
The story of the creation of peace is written by fulfilling commitments. The Commission of Legal Advisors fulfilled their word. We fulfill our word. We are still waiting for what was signed to be accepted without hesitation.
And while the FARC insists the agreement should not be discussed further and instead published, it instead published in full, the government lead negotiator Humberto de la Calle disagrees.
There was an agreement embodied in 10 points, but for the longer document, we never ever accept that it will be a closed and unchangeable agreement.
And for more on the setback now, we're going to go to Natalia Margarita from Colombia. Natalia, thanks for joining us. Can just run through it here. What exactly happened here and what is the disagreement, this argument about?
Well, this recent agreement on transitional justice that all the world got to know on the 23rd of September is an agreement of 75 points. However, what we got to know and what we actually know at this point is just 10 out of those 75 points, Cody. So basically, the FARC has been insisting that the full agreement, the 75 points that are part of this agreement, should be published, fully published. And on the other side, the government disagrees with publishing this agreement, as they argue, the Colombian government is arguing that there are many points among those 75 that still need to be discussed and agreed. So particularly, the government has been insisting that 5 points still need to be discussed in depth. Those 5 points has to do with kidnapping crimes, with the issue of extradition, with the conditions of restriction of freedom. Let's remember that among the agreement is that there is going to be alternatives to prison. So which are going to be these alternatives exactly? The treatment that state agents that are found guilty, which treatment they are going to receive, and finally the mechanisms to choose the judges that are going to be part of the so-called Tribunal for Peace. So these 5 points, according to the government, still need to be discussed. And that's why the government does not agree and has rejected the proposal of the FARC to publish this agreement yet. So basically, that is the difference that they have been having since yesterday there in Havana, Cody.
And Natalia, throughout the course of these peace talks, there have been times when it has appeared that real progress was being made, and then we've also seen times when there were real setbacks. So how serious of a setback is this latest disagreement?
I wouldn't call it a setback at all, Cody. I think it's just a couple of differences that has more to do with the way and not really the content. You know what I mean? They are disagreeing on whether to publish an agreement or not publish it yet, the full agreement, the 75 points that I was mentioning before, but it's not something really of content that they are really disagreeing on. And if you have a look overall, the whole peace process, the 3 years that these conversations have been lasting since November 2012, when they start, they have really advanced. They have already reached agreements on 4 of the 5 points of the negotiation agenda. And also is the fact that this peace process has advanced much further than any other previous peace process here in Colombia. So I believe this is not going to be anything serious, and they have been holding also today some conversations to discuss this difference that they had yesterday on this regard, Cody.
All right, let's certainly hope that it's not a setback. Natalia Margarita reporting on the latest on those peace talks from Colombia. Natalia, thanks.